Slayer before episode 19, and then there was Demon Slayer after episode 19. Kind of got a big three again. With One Piece staying where it is, Naruto being replaced by Green Naruto, some people can argue that Demon Slayer has just filled that gap for the new generation's Bleach.
Hey, don't ever don't
Bleach. But I'm not gonna be the one to start that.
Don't you ever Gigguk!
You nasty.
Sock by said, your man behind the camera director. Here with another Gigguk reaction. Best anime 2019. In this one, the year of 2019 was the year right before lockdown. It was the first year I was reacting to anime. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember what came out in that season. It was like AOT time. We were watching, a lot of Isekai. A lot of Isekais at that time. I can't even think of the one specifically that came out that year. I also want to say Slime. Were we watching Slime yet? I don't think we were watching Slime yet. You know, the goat Rimuru was probably floating around somewhere. But I'm excited to see what Gigguk's going to touch on from that year. Go down memory lane to see what anime came out and what would have been the anime of the year, based on my opinion. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this one. Comment down below, what was your favorite anime of 2019? You put it by season. So put each season 2019 was your favorite anime. Drop that down in the comments below. You already know what it is. Reaction starts now.
Well, we've reached the end of 2019, and once again we get to look back on another year of anime.
Full
We
Metal?
see all kinds of shows in all
Not
shapes
Full
and
Metal.
forms. So that begs the
Oh,
question:
Vinland?
what are you
Okay.
gonna remember 2019 for?
I was thinking Chainsaw Man, and I said Vinland. I was
2019
thinking
has somehow
Chainsaw
equaled,
Man.
or maybe even eclipsed, the monster year that was 2018. Anime is good now. It's just good. And with more of it than ever before, we have not been struggling for choices. We've had the good, the bad,
I think
the
that's the
ugly,
one I
and
got
just
right.
the plain weird. So as we take a look back at what we watched and probably what we missed, let's see
A lot
how
of what I
anime
missed.
signed itself off for
Vinland
this
was in
decade.
2019,
This
and
is
Kaguya-sama.
anime in
Oh,
2019.
oh no, this is gonna be a banging
I'm
season.
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I had trouble keeping up with all the anime coming out last year, and I feel that's just
Yo,
kind of the
Vin
norm nowadays.
and Dr.
So,
Stone?
instead of trying to cover everything, I'm just
No,
gonna keep
I
it
think
to my
Dr.
personal
Stone's
favorite
2018.
things, ending it
We'll
on
see,
my
though.
anime of the year. But I'll do my best to talk about everything that mattered to me and made waves in our community.
Nice.
Looking back for a place to start in 2019, there was one thing we kept having to ask ourselves over and over again. Are you excited for more Isekai next season?
No, no, not another one.
Not another
I'll get to look back on a year of anime and think to myself, man, there was a reasonably
Sword Art
decent amount
Online.
of Isekai this time. This year wasn't one of them. Somehow the
Nah.
number doesn't seem to be decreasing, but increasing.
Honestly.
Every time I say to myself, surely we can't get even more Isekai next
Yes, we
year.
can!
No, that is a trap. Don't say it. As soon as you, some unsuspecting victim tries to cross the road and Truck-kun claims another life and nobody can stop it.
Undefeated.
So I'm just gonna stop doing it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just not going to say it anymore. Alright? And this isn't even a dig at the genre. This year we saw more variation than the usual power fantasy affair that we're used to. Cautious Hero, Kemonamichi, and
Cautious Hero.
all look genuinely good and different. I just kind of hit my Isekai quota and haven't gotten around to watching them yet. But
Bro?
a lot of others I did.
Bro!
Shield Hero kicked off the year, proving that all it takes to make a community collectively forget about years worth of built-up Isekai fatigue was one raccoon girl and an angry boy. Hateable villain of the year. That built up
Fuck
to
that
a
bitch,
climax
Miney.
so satisfying, the only thing that was actually rising was the revenge boner that could be felt community-wide. My only real problem was with how cheaply Naofumi was built up by essentially bringing everyone else down. Sure, you're rooting for Naofumi, but he's
What?
as being the only competent character by making
Correct.
everyone but him and his party an absolute fucking useless
Correct.
idiot. So it's really a no-brainer that you'd end up cheering for him because he's the only one that doesn't have half a fucking brain cell.
Correct.
Looking forward to season 2.
Perfect.
Sword Art Online has gotten to the point where I just genuinely enjoy it for what it is. This is just fun popcorn entertainment and exactly why I enjoy Isekai in the first place. Though I do find it funny that all my favorite parts of Sword Art Online have conveniently come when
Idolization?
the picture.
Wow.
The main role has been a welcome change, and there have been criticism that she's just a ripoff from Saber from Fate, but come on guys. I mean, she may look like Saber,
I gotta go back and
talk
watch
like
this.
Saber, act like Saber, fight like Saber, have very similar looking powers as Saber, but she's also a tsundere. So I don't see how she can be a ripoff when she's quite clearly an upgrade.
Oh.
Isekai.
That's spicy.
By actually finishing it. Of course, Isekai is still
Ouch.
Isekai, and there was plenty of trash, which I'll get back to later. But for me, the surprise of the year was Isekai Quartet, because I enjoyed it way more than I anticipated.
No.
I thought I would get bored after 2 episodes.
True.
The character writing and banter was so on point that it never got old. We've gotten to the point
Good
where
call.
we with a bunch of Isekai characters in an Isekai world and have them talk about Isekai stuff, and it's just entertaining.
Correct.
Partly because it just kind of felt like an episode of Konosuba with an extended cast, which is probably why I enjoyed it so much.
Oh, yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Our own Avenger Kais. They may not be able to avenge the world, but you can be damn sure they'll reincarnate into another one. Overall, I think
Correct.
the moral of this year is that Isekai is here to stay and is still definitely thriving. And that's
Roswell.
fine, because you know what?
Oh,
Surely we can't get even more.
why would you
Isekai
say it?
this year.
You fool! Oh, thank God. Oh no! Across the 7 skies into space. Aww.
He had to say it. He had to say it.
So I will say this. Isekai Quartet, I feel exactly what Gigguk felt about it. I was like, why is this a thing? Why do you think you can carry this on? Oh shit, it's actually pretty good. What they did really well is they stuck to all the banter and jokes from the individual shows and found a really unique and dope way to mix them together where you don't think it makes sense, but it just makes sense. Well done.
When I think of the music that came out of anime in 2019, what comes to mind is... Nope. Wait, I got it.
Fool, you stupid rabbit! Like this!
I don't have much to say about
JoJo.
those teasers this year. Sure, there were singular songs and tracks that stood out. Giorno's theme, Isabel's Lullaby,
Nah.
the track from that scene.
I'm telling you right now, Giorno's theme has been my ringtone since 2019. No, actually, when did we watch JoJo? I think it was like since 2020 has been my ringtone. It's still my ringtone to this day. Now, mind you, my phone's usually on silent, but when it's not, that's what I wake up to. Well, yeah, because usually when somebody's calling me, I'm sleeping. Because why else on my phone? Anyways.
In Demon Slayer. Shout out to my boy Kevin Penkin for looking at your typical anime fantasy setting and thinking, you know what this needs? Sexy
This guy.
Isekai saxophone. But unlike previous
I'm
years,
feeling
there
it,
weren't any
though. I'm
soundtracks
feeling
as
it,
a whole
though.
that really stood out. That is, of course, until I realized the best anime music of the year was stuck behind Netflix jail. One of them was Beastars, but the other one gives me the opportunity to talk about...
Oh, he's talked about this one before.
Carol and Tuesday didn't just give us an OST, it just straight up gave us several albums worth of music. The sheer amount of songs on display here in all different genres is absolutely insane. You've got stuff like EDM, metal, Carol and Tuesday's simpler acoustic sound, whatever genre this fits into, and of course, classic pop. I know that was
Ooh,
just a
shit's
single
kinda
episode.
bad, I
While
ain't
in
gonna
most
lie.
music anime, the show will normally center around some musicians building up to their next big performance, their next big song, which, if we're lucky, will happen maybe every 3-4 episodes. Carol and Tuesday is just here casually debuting at least one new song every episode. At
Damn.
least one. Most of the time you're getting 2, 3 or 4 coming from the various characters on display, not forgetting other miscellaneous things like, I don't know, actual background music, the OPs, the EDs, and even references to the classical music of its setting in the future.
My mother passed
Jesus.
away not that long ago. I'm singing a song she often sang to me when I was young.
Thong song.
I don't think there's been another anime that's
No
been
way
free
that's
with
real.
music in this show. And I realized when watching this how much of a core element music is in all of Shinichiro Watanabe's works. Because this entire show felt like his personal love letter to music itself. And I don't think anyone else would have been able to get so many talented
Oh my
artists from
God.
all over the world
Thundercat?
to provide the music for a single
Wow,
anime.
Mark
With
Redodo?
the writing at
Steve
Taito,
Aoki?
this had the potential to be an absolute masterpiece, but as it stands, it is simply a good show with by far the most impressive music production any anime has ever seen, and maybe will ever get. Because I don't
No,
know,
some
man,
real
I don't see
producers
how
on that
any show
bitch.
will ever top the likes of this. Speaking of
Oh,
which,
why?
if we're going through the best of anime, we also can't forget the best
Whoa,
of the worst we
she
saw.
was
So let's do
tooted.
the rundown of what we got to experience.
Sensei,
this
why are
year.
you
A lot
here?
of bullshit isekai, a lot of softcore hentai, not enough culture. Number of
Whoa.
anime girls this year who asked someone to drink
What?
their urine? 2.
This brings back good memories.
2?
Number of anime girls who saw a suppository
Yes.
get shoved up their ass this year?
No.
Rectally.
Also 2. Magical girls got up to this year. Let's forget
What?
what magical girls got up to this year.
But are they
How
gushing?
acted as visual bleach for the eyes. Was kicked things off with an equally ugly sequel to Handshakers absolutely nobody asked for. Seven Deadly
Ew.
Sins ended the year off with one of the most highly anticipated fights of the series. Meliodas versus Escanor, a fight so hyped up by fans that Studio Dean tried to do it justice by staying faithful to the franchise and adapted it using only 7 deadly frames of animation.
Oh,
Mr. Nobunaga's
7
young
deadly
bride gave us
frames.
an anime about a lolly attempting
What?
to convince a
No.
fully grown man to get married to her and
No.
consummate it.
No.
That's it. That's the...
Run! Why are you here?
The worst CG award went to Ari Ferretta, who also gave us the Rising of the
Whoa,
Dawn Hero.
time out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Now, I'm not usually a defender of CGI. Alpharetta was a good show. Was the CGI a little bit ass? Pun intended if you know the dragon scene, right? Yes, it was a bit ass. But overall, it's a good anime. I don't like that's being lumped in as just shit CGI in this moment. That's my only qualm with it. That's my only qualm with it. I don't like it's being lumped in with trash CGI. It's like right now it's being labeled in 2019 being known for trash CGI. I just don't like that because it was a pretty good show.
Brand Christmas present some mum probably gave to the poor kid who asked for Shield Hero.
Yeah, is he
Featuring
digging
another
his
edgy
ass?
protagonist teaming up with a 300-year-old demon lolly.
I won't defend that
Subplot
part.
They were totally gonna dangle in front of us. Oh.
I'm not defending this part.
And of course, there was a
God,
few
please.
dumpster fires this year that burned so brightly I couldn't keep my eyes off them. I watched Domestic Girlfriend with my girlfriend once.
What? Domestic
She's my
girlfriend?
stepsister now. Domestic Girlfriend is
Nani?
what happens when you take a typical harem romance anime and then try to do a full 100% degeneracy speedrun and
What?
succeed. A show with so
What?
much spice you have to refer to the Scoville scale when
Yo,
rating it.
really?
Documenting the case of a protagonist who finally dropped the mister and got with his sister.
No.
Using a secret technique never before seen in anime.
Really? With
Hey,
the
wanna be
sister?
my girlfriend? But we can't. We're brother and sister. No, please, I incest. Okay. I don't even know why YouTube demonetized.
No, please, I incest. No, no problem. Oh, boy. No, please, I incest. Fam.
Using a secret technique never before seen
No.
in anime. Hey, wanna be my girlfriend? But we can't. We're brother and sister. No, please, I incest. Okay. I don't even know why YouTube demonetized my review of this. I thought Domestic Girlfriend was the epitome of family-friendly content.
You
Then finally,
are-
we had Assassin's
get
Creed,
out.
commonly referred to as Milady Battle Angel, a plot that was written like a
What?
fan fiction of an anime that didn't actually have a better love story than Twilight. Meet Kufa Vampire,
Fake
son of a
ass
twisted
Fire
relationship
Force?
between a vampire and a fedora. Full-time lolly magnet. Knock knock.
What?
What's this?
No.
A perfectly suitable romantic interest who's in love with you and also a similar age? What are you? Legal? This is Kufa Vampire. The FBI have to check if they're on the Kufa Vampire registry. When Chris Hansen tells him to take a seat,
No.
he's already sitting down. And of course, he's the only man that can possibly cap off this year of glorious trash.
Help! Help!
This year had a strong showing for slice of life and romance.
Oh
just
my
given titles that
lord.
were solid additions to the pre-established formula, but also ones that broke the mold and did something new. Oresuki did to harem what Konosuba had done for Isekai. Hensky gave us a bunch of new kinks just so it could shame us later on. Fruits Basket Brotherhood was a thing I still need to finish.
What?
Like another certain brotherhood. People are terrified right now at the implication of the World War Season 3 teaser that just got released,
World War
forgetting
Season
that Quintessential
3.
Quintuplets has already started World War 5 in 2019, and
Hell
many of
yeah.
us have already been drafted. Senko-san was ASMR for the eyes by giving us a middle-aged salaryman mastering the forbidden technique of dual-wielding head pats against some innocent boomer lollies in what my depression has categorized as an Avengers-level threat. But if I had to talk about the shows
Lock
that
him
really had
up.
an effect on me, the first one that comes to mind would have to be
Hell yeah.
Kaguya-sama.
The GOAT.
Love me, mister. Hey, mister. And one of the most refreshing takes of the
Aw.
romantic comedy genre I've seen in a while. The mix of the absurd, over-the-top mind games in the typical harem romance situations was a premise that continued to be hilarious throughout. And before I knew it, I was,
was
actually
godly.
heavily invested in these two characters getting together. I think there was another reason to watch the show, but I just can't remember what it was right now. Of course, how could I forget? Ishigami Best Girl.
Ishigami.
Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season was probably my FELIX gem of the year in one of the most hilarious.
Ishigami over Chica. I said it. If you disagree, argue with your mama. He's a way better side character. You can't convince me otherwise.
Hilariously accurate portrayals of puberty I've
No,
seen in anime.
wrong. Not side character. He's a much better third option protagonist. I'm not even calling her a protagonist. She's a side character.
It's rare that you get to see the topic of sex tackled as the awkward, uncomfortable mess that it is when you first discovered it and started thinking about it. You know that one embarrassing sex story everyone seems to have as a teenager that is hilarious to tell but kind of makes you want to die inside when you remember it? That
Of
is
course.
it. That is the show. How heavy
Oh,
are the dumbbells you
Lord.
lift finally
Oh my
gave
God.
us cute girls do lifting in an anime
Oh,
so
Lord.
alpha, not even Tyler 1 can come close to even matching it. While this might not be the greatest anime of the year, it certainly had one of the biggest real-life effects on me. Because
Oh,
I don't want to admit
Jesus.
that I'm that degenerate weeb who got motivated to join the gym because I saw some cute anime girls doing it, but...
He
I'm that
did.
degenerate weeb who got motivated to join the gym because I saw some cute anime girls.
Honestly, there's no shame in that, my
What's
boy.
next for cute anime girls?
I'm not even
Cute
mad at
girls
you.
Do basic daily hygiene. Cute
They
girls
should.
Do filling out your annual tax return.
Oh,
Cute
don't
girls
judge
do
me.
Interacting with cute girls in real life. Whatever it is, I think we've finally figured out the end goal of all moe shows. Cute girls do transforming weebs into functional members of society. That was my personal
Honestly.
favorite high school drama of the year. I came into Beastars knowing nothing, ready to meme the shit out of it, and I came out with one of my favorite anime of the year. This feels like one of the most unique series in recent memory, and no, it's not because the characters are walking furry baits. This doesn't
Yes, it
feel
is.
like your typical glossy anime. In fact, it doesn't feel like anime at all. It gives off the vibe of an Oscar-nominated film or a highly acclaimed stage play, with the combination of some of the best voice acting performances you can find all year and fantastic direction. That was one of the only times in my life that had me saying, man. I'm really glad this anime's in 3D. It's the story of a murder mystery, an unequal society dominated by the strong, a man driven to obsession to be the image of the perfect star, and also a touching love story between a literal virgin and actual Chad. The world of Beastars is
wait,
one that
who's
draws
who?
you in and sells you on these characters. It deeply immerses you, then sells you on pure drama.
Oh,
and
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
It says a lot that a show about
Oh, he was about to get his
anime
ass
was
beat.
the one that felt most real. You forget that you're watching wolves, rabbits, deers, and Metal Gear Panda. In
Metal
fact,
Gear
their
Panda.
animalistic characteristics are able to emphasize emotion in a way that makes them seem even more eerily human. And I can't wait to see what the story will have to offer in Season 2 and hopefully beyond. Basically, in a nutshell, I watch Beastars and I'm still not a furry.
Cap.
But...
No. Well.
Yeah, you a furry boy.
Normally in the year of
Lie.
anime, we get to see some high-octane,
I love me some
hard-hitting
Fire
shows.
Force.
So, with that in mind, what did 2019 offer us? Yeah, this year was kind of dry as a whole. For real though,
Cat,
2019 was
but
one
okay,
of
buddy.
the most action-packed years in recent memory, with old and new franchises not only continuing the expected hype, but a lot of the times reaching their
AOT
absolute
Fire
peak.
Force,
Demon
fire.
Slayer blew up the entire community in a single episode. Mob
It
Psycho
did.
100 showcased some of the most impressive fight sequences I've ever seen. Attack on Titan topped IMDb's chart for the highest rated episode of any series of all time. And
Hero.
My Hero Academia did an excellent job at coloring in some manga panels.
Wow. Oh yeah.
There are several Anime of the Year contenders right here, and most of them could have easily won if they had aired in any other year, so this is going to be a pretty long segment. Let's start with Mob. The first season of Mob always felt like it was living in the shadow of One Punch Man, but this was the season it truly grew into its own and maybe even surpassed its older cousin. What I expected was more
this
great
is season
action, more
2
great
came
animation
out.
like the first season, and it delivered that, then exceeded it. Fight after amazing fight, it was an absolute spectacle, with the group battle against the teleporting psychic being one of the coolest sequences I've ever seen. But what I didn't expect was how much heart it would have as well. The character writing between Mob and Reagan was phenomenal, and the unexpected character development they saw and teary moments in the season sucker punched me way harder than any of the fights. It grew from this flashy, funny action series to something so much more. It was hype, it was emotional, it was touching, it was just the complete package. After
AOT
it finished, I
reference.
didn't think anything could come close to Mob this year. And then Attack on Titan must have heard that and was like, yo, hold my
Hold my
kidnapped
beer.
Aaron. Attack on
Hold my
Titan Season
kidnapped
3
Aaron.
Part 2 Half-Life 3 Platform 9 3/4 was the perfect payoff to everything the series had been building up so far. The legacy of one of the most hyped franchises to rise up in the past decade had finally reached that hype, then punched straight past it. Seeing the evolution of this series go from thrill ride to mystery to political thriller to the culmination of all of
Yes.
this was an absolute joy to experience.
It was
With a
amazing.
fully developed cast we were all invested in, being put into a high-stakes situation where you genuinely did not know what was going to happen, resulted in a dramatic, tense, action-packed, edge-of-your-seat experience that delivered some of the most compelling entertainment.
Right,
anywhere
Mike
this
Saunders!
year, anime or not. It's also one of the few series that has built up this massive mystery and actually delivered a satisfying answer. From what I've heard, the events of Season 4 are going to surpass even this, so I am absolutely hyped. I cannot wait to properly experience it for the first time over the coming year, the only way I know how to. Through different
Spoiled.
manga readers who can't resist posting spoilers in the
Oh!
comment section. And then Vinland
Oh, we said the same thing. Ha! Who would have known? That's how relevant you assholes are. If you didn't spoil, I'm not talking to you. But if you did,
Saga finally broke the curse of the highly acclaimed historical seinen manga getting an actual decent anime adaptation. I originally thought that if Vinland Saga were to ever get an anime, all it would need to do is to animate the manga in a competent fashion and it would be a contender for Anime of the Year. And that's exactly what happened.
Hell
the
yeah.
tale of Viking Sasuke on his lone quest to
Viking
rewrite
Sasuke.
everything his dad tried to teach him, and Aski Chad trying to set the world record for longest father-killing kill streak in history is one that will stick with me for a very long time. While it may
Fucking
not be
beautiful.
as loud or in your face as some of the other shows here, it hits just as hard or maybe even more so. This is going to go down as a special series, and with the ending it gave, it was the perfect way to cap off the year. My
Now,
Hero
Vinland
Academia
season
has
1 is
pretty much
amazing,
continued
bro.
being My Hero Academia. Me and the boys continued our trip across Italy in
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind.
Pause.
Yes, JoJo Part 5 continued in the season where Italy itself became a JoJo reference, as anime watchers finally understood the pain of the question,
How the fuck does King Crimson work?
fans were finally rewarded with
Thank
many
you!
highly anticipated moments, including the animated 7-page Muda that was a glorious moment any father would be proud of. Next up is
7-page Muda.
Oh my god, the fire's got a gun! What the was that?
Fire Force.
Fire Force.
Fire Force was
Fighting
fucking
fire
heat,
with
though.
Fire to whole new heights as David Production finally got a chance to flex their animation muscles outside of JoJo, giving us a show with several choices of amazing top-tier waifus.
Oh
and
my
Tamaki.
God.
Yeah, I said it, Tamaki fans. What are you gonna do? Trip
Hell
over and
yeah.
land on my dick? Look, I'm a degenerate that lives for trashy fan service, but there's a time and a place for that, and I don't need it breaking all immersion of every serious action scene
Facts.
she's in. Finally, of course, there was Demon Slayer,
100%
which was
agree with that
undoubtedly
take.
the new breakout hit this year. I can't remember remember the last time I saw such an instant explosion from just a
Nah,
single
this is a
episode.
good one,
See,
too.
there was Demon Slayer before episode 19, and then there was Demon Slayer after episode 19. It went from this moderately popular action show to the hip trending topic on Twitter. Everyone
Legitimately.
started watching it, and then Ninja tweeted that it was gonna become the greatest anime of all time, and everyone was like, well, I mean, he's pretty good at Fortnite, so he's probably right. Not to take anything away from the scene, as I do think it was one of the most beautifully crafted moments I've seen in
It was
any
beautifully
shonen,
crafted.
I kind of call it a work of art. And it is a really good show, but I think as a whole it's a bit premature because the
Very
story only just
premature.
feels like it's truly starting to get going. And as competition this year are shows that have reached their narrative peaks. What I find more interesting is how after all these
Correct.
years we've kind of got a big three again. With One Piece staying where it is, Naruto being replaced by Green Naruto, some people
Stop.
can argue that Demon Slayer
No.
has just filled that gap for
Hey
new
man.
generations.
Hey, don't ever don't
Bleach. But I'm not going to be the one to start that.
don't you ever Gigguk! Why he try to make me mad at him? Don't you ever fix your mouth to ever say that My Hero is like Naruto is the new age Naruto and Demon Slayer is the new age of Bleach. Go wash your mouth. Go wash your mouth out right now. If that's what you about to fix your lips to say, if you comment that down below that you agree with that, go wash your mouth, bro. If you disagree, tell the mouthwashers what to go do. What?
That shitstorm of a conversation.
What?
Before I get to my anime of the year, there are a few more shows
Looking
that
at you
shouldn't really
funny.
belong to any of these categories, but definitely shouldn't be left out. Promised Neverland was an engrossing thriller about a group of children breaking out of an extremely secure, locked-down facility overlooked by highly intelligent monsters.
Oh, so-
Plain tag. This was
so
some of the
heavily
most
delusioned,
gripping
but
anime
not.
you could find
Got
this
it.
year. Aside from having a completely unique premise, the cat and mouse game manages to deliver a story with so many twists and turns without ever
Ew.
feeling like they were forcing it. It builds up tension beautifully, and it's one of those cliffhanger shows that will have you clicking on the next episode faster than you could say itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
If I have any small issues with it, is that it pushed my suspension of
Crazy.
disbelief to the fucking limit. Like, I know these kids are meant to be smart, but when they started playing 5D intergalactic mind games and had already strategized their highly elaborate escape plan from the moment they were fucking conceived, all while masking it as a
What?
children's game, I was like, I don't know if these kids could be going that far. Or can they? And if we're still nitpicking, there was something a bit off about how the characters were drawn, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Did he
That's
just
a-
say there was something off about the way we look? Yeah, I think he did just say that.
Yo, those
I don't
heads are
think there's anything weird about my face.
Oh,
I look normal
okay.
Face. No, you look perfectly
Okay,
normal. What do you
okay.
think, Ray? Yeah, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Meanwhile, in Dr. Stone character design,
Hell yeah.
Suffix 06, we are
No.
approaching runway 19er. Are we clear to land? Over. Suffix 06, you are number 1 for runway 19er. You are clear to land whenever you are ready. Over. Suffix 06, thank you very much. Taking her down now.
That's 787 Max? Because it's going to crash if it is. Oh my god.
Dr. Stone this year gave us a long-awaited anime adaptation of the two indie
Nah,
guys doing
that's
hustle
fucking
on YouTube that
hilarious.
somehow got recommended to you at 1 AM. And I'll be honest, this show left me a bit conflicted in the end. On one hand, it's one of the most interesting premises out there, and seeing the process of
It's
how
better
they
than
make
I thought it was
advanced
gonna be. I ain't gonna
technology
hold
with the
you.
most primitive of tools was some of the most entertaining things you can find in anime all year. But on the other hand, I could give less a shit about any of the conflicts here. Look, I really don't care that Tsukasa hates boomers. Anytime there was a contractually obligated Shonen Jump fight, I couldn't help but just want to go back to seeing the villagers pissing themselves at the sight of Senku making glass. It's probably
Really?
the first time in my life when I've seen a tournament arc and I've been like, oh, they're putting in a tournament arc. Yeah. Wake me up when something interesting happens. Light No Gun's Life almost single-handedly tried
Dead.
keeping the cyberpunk genre alive along with Psycho Pass, giving us an old-school
Ooh,
hard-boiled
I haven't
detective
seen
story that
Psycho Pass
unfortunately
yet.
got looked over by a lot of people. Probably because its name wasn't something hip and catchy enough, like that time Alphonse Elric got reincarnated as a gun. Dororo was a legitimately good remake of a samurai anime. from the
Dororo,
60s. I hardly anyone watched it
yeah.
Because it was an Amazon Prime exclusive. And the only way I see people still remembering the show is when they ask Amazon, hey, Amazon, do you have Demon Slayer on Amazon Prime? And Amazon's like, oh, yeah, we have Demon Demon Slayer on Amazon Prime.
We have Demon Slayer at
Demon
home.
Slayer on Amazon Prime. Hoshino Sora was a really promising anime original sports drama whose production just got axed halfway through, leaving us once again with just half an anime. Fate is still making more money than they know how to spend. Babylon was a great show that I apparently missed. Let's see, was there anything else I left out? Yeah, I think that's everything.
What did I just see?
This year was honestly the hardest year to pick my anime of the year for a very long time.
What was your anime of the year?
I praised 2018 for the sheer volume of good shows, but 2019 has seemingly matched that, while still producing a handful of shows that were even better than anything that came out the year
that's
before.
facts.
Many of these shows would have been an easy shoo-in if they literally aired in any other year. It was a tough choice, but after dwelling on it for a week or two, I've got to give it to
Attack on Titan.
Saga.
Vinland? Oh, I'm okay with that.
Every so often you come across a work of fiction like Vinland Saga, something that exudes this sense of unquantifiable greatness, and there is a word that personifies what I'm talking about. A masterpiece. To me, Vinland Saga is a tale that earnestly earns that title. Mob might have been better animated, Attack on Titan might have been more compelling, Demon Slayer might have been more hype, Beastars might have been more unique, but I know the tale told in Vinland Saga will stick with me for much longer. I mean, it already has. This isn't the first time I've got to experience this story, but that didn't make it hit any less hard. It's a story that's powerful and raw, brutal and grim, yet somehow it's beautiful, culminating in one of the greatest climaxes anime has ever seen. The series displays some of the best character writing and development you can find in its diverse cast, but even so, there was still one clear standout, because 2019 was the year of Askeladd. Askeladd isn't just the antagonist of the year, Askeladd is the character of the year, and a contender for the whole decade. It's not often you come across this multifaceted character who is not only compelling to watch, but commands your attention every second he's on screen, exuding the type of charisma that doesn't just charm the people in the story, but yourself as well. It says a lot that a character you end up cheering for, laughing for, crying for, is this manipulative, scheming bastard who is responsible for killing hundreds of people, innocent or not, and personally ruined God knows how many more lives.
Yo, especially when they went that mountain pass.
Tells you that you should hate this man, and you end up just loving him. Some people try living as a hero, only to see themselves becoming the villain, but here was a man who chose to live as the villain, who we all saw became a hero. This was the final series I finished before the year ended, and I can't think of a better way to cap off a fantastic year for anime. So, as 2020 now has fully come, one last time, let's give it up for 2019.
That was Gigguk Best Anime 2019. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Gigguk said everything perfectly. Year 2019 took what 2018 built upon and just blew it out the water. Yo, having Vinland, AOT, I'm gonna throw in Demon Slayer and Mob Psycho Season 2, having to compete against those four absolute titans, and Part 2 of JoJo Part 5, which is arguably the best part of JoJo. It's insane. It's really, really insane. But Vinland definitely winning Anime of the Year is the right choice. It has the action you want. It has a character development you want on 3 different fronts, by the way. The animation was good. The story was unique. It was dark. It had its light moments. It moved you in so many different directions. There's parables and stories that you could relate to. There's characters that you could ride for, characters you wanted to die for, and characters you wanted to murder ruthlessly. And there was even a sweet print that made you question if you wanted to take those cheeks or not. Vinland absolutely deserved it. Oh, and Fire Force was in that season too. Oh, and did I mention Love is War was in that year too? It was a hard year. Oh my god, what an absolute hard ass year to be competing for Anime of the Year. My God, even Beastars. This is the second time I've heard Gigguk talk about Beastars, and every time he talks about it, man, I ain't gonna lie, he makes a good case for it. That scene where the wolf is on there, the VA was actually going ham. He was throwing mad blows, but to see that, like, yo, you see he's going that crazy bananas ham, very animalistic, teeth showing, and whoever's ass he's beating just blocks a punch randomly. It's like, oh yeah, you about to get your ass beat. Yeah, you was about to get your shit ran. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The anime of 2019, I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Gigguk throughout the whole video. The only part I don't agree with him, you already knew where it was. You already knew what it was. I will not stand for that shit. I will not. How dare he? How dare he call My Hero the new Naruto and call Demon Slayer the new Bleach? It just doesn't track. I can't let it slide. I definitely can't let it slide. I won't. It's icky to me, man. It's icky. Cause he's saying it's like the next gen. He said One Piece is staying where it is. And you know what? Maybe I'm triggered. Maybe that's where I got. Like, we're gonna leave One Piece there. You're not gonna replace One Piece with one of the newer shows. Like, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. My GOAT, Bleach. My GOAT, listen, first off, my favorite anime of all time is AOT. Then second place, a close second, but still pretty far, is Bleach. And then it comes Naruto, and then Dragon Ball Z. That's the Mount Rushmore, baby. That's the Mount Rushmore for me, right? I just can't, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being sensitive, but I know we all are sensitive about our own little taste, flavors, and profiles. I didn't realize how much of anime 2019 I had seen. What else is in there? Quintuplets was in 2019. Dr. Stone was in 2019. It was just a very, very stacked year. And I can see why it was a stacked year, but it wasn't a difficult choice in what anime of the year was. It definitely wasn't a difficult choice. Because, yeah, of all the things here, I think the only one of all of the animes from this season that moved me enough that I want to say almost made me cry might have been Vinland. Fantastic. And then, you know, Vinland season 2 came out later, and people are like, it's Farming Simulator. Nah, man, I don't care. The development, A1. You can never make me hate you, Vinland. You can never make me hate you. But we're going to end this one here. Comment down below what's your anime of the year. Comment down below what's on your Mount Rushmore of favorite animes of all time. No judgment will be given. None at all. I'm a man behind the cam. As always, never forget, stay nasty, y'all.
You wanna go? Oh, I'm really fucking shaking, bro.